I say to people, it was like watching one of the Rocky films. That the anticipation, what's going to happen? You get beat down. I mean, this is a guy they did everything they could to destroy him, to beat him.
Yeah.
Think about this as a figure in the world. They started with the Steele dossier, with the Russian collusion, spying on his campaign. I go back to 2015. Then Adam Schiff, he talked about the impeachment and more Russian collusion. And it never stopped. It kept coming and coming and coming. A tsunami of these deceitful lies that were coming against Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And then you had also the COVID, and they lied about some of that and what he said there. And then you have the election of 2020, which is questionable now. He questioned it, and they questioned it then because where did 15 million votes go? But this election now, 2024, where now they started the lawfare, 2 assassination attempts. If people didn't think there was some kind of miracle involved with this, because let's face it, the woke ideology of America, what's become woke, that World Economic Forum, that the globalist wokeism to kind of separate people, to weaken the country, to weaken people, to confuse people. That's demonic. The devil confuses people. And when you can't say what a man or a woman is, that's confusing. Now, people can live how they want to live. I've been in entertainment my whole life. I met many wonderful people with different things, And this is like, but don't confuse the people. There's a male and a female. Everything done against Trump was misinformation. It was all misinformation because it should have been brought into the states, not into the federal government. And Donald Trump was the most authentic public figure we've had. He was,
sure.
I supported him since 2015. I was at Mar-a-Lago the night of the election. It was a wonderful night. That's why I said it was like Rocky, because you're anticipating, is it going to happen? What's going to happen? Is there going to be something?
What was the energy in that place in that time?
Well, nobody knows anything because we thought about that in 2020. You know what I mean? We thought that this was, and things happened, the machines and this and that. A lot of crazy stuff happened. Anyway, you can't go into that because the powers that be have muted you on that stuff, unfortunately, and it should be investigated. It was never fully investigated. But 2020, we went into nobody worked harder than Donald Trump, and I don't care who they put up against him. But Kamala Harris was not a formidable. It was a manufactured Hollywood creation. And I said to the great director Rob Reiner on Twitter, because he was for Kamala Harris and saying how wonderful she was, and I tweeted to Rob Reiner, who I respect him as an artist. But this, I said, Rob, if you were casting a movie for the first female president of the United States, you were directing a movie, Kamala Harris wouldn't get past the casting director. They would never let her into the room. They would say, thank you. No, maybe you could be, this over here, but not the first female president. So imagine having the best concert of AC/DC, Elvis, Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett. Imagine having all these stars doing a concert for the world.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it's only for 1,000 people. And you're in this room.
It's privilege,
Or with all this, and not just privilege. I'm trying to give you the excitement of that moment. It was a Taylor Swift concert on steroids because it was about America. It was about the world. No, that's why I say it was like Rocky on steroids. Because it had that. When you see that first film, the Rocky film, second one, you had this angst and you had this hope and you had this, and then the elation of winning because he was beaten down. What Trump went through is miraculous. And I'm going to tell you something. So there's that night.
Mhm.
I'm there that night. And what happens? It's kind of already miraculous that he wasn't shot when he turned his head that last second, and the whole 9 yards of it, all right? And so I'm there, and I'm meeting people I didn't know and people that I did know. And then there's another smaller room, about 100 people, of the
Mhm.
more people that have been friends with him for 50 years and big donors,
Mhm.
people like, and my friend Lee Rizzuto and his wonderful wife Denise brought me into this, the Rizzuto family, great family. And my friend Tony Holt Kramer into the ballroom area. But I'm in the in a room, and they're introducing me to, hello, this is so and so. Hello, great people, great, loving America, humble people, beautiful people. Well, first off, you have the Department of Government Efficiency that they
Yes.
started, Dodge, like the Dogecoin.
Mm.
And that's already going higher, the Dogecoin.
Really?
But him and Vivek Ramaswamy are in charge of that. And when you see, like in our government, they pass bills. Literally, the bills are papers double the thickness of this, double the
Mhm.
thickness, this big, maybe
Yes.
bigger. And people have no idea what's in it. No idea.
Mm.
Who's going to read all of that? So what happens is some bureaucrat who's been put in there by somebody
Mhm.
says, this is good, vote for this because here's what we have. And, oh, we got our earmark. Yeah, we're good. The
Mhm.
government waste of money, and this is all over the world. So Elon is going to go in there with Vivek Ramaswamy and start to cut this waste and say, this is inefficient, it's inefficient, it's inefficient.
Mm.
So that'll be much stronger. Americans are going to come back very strong. Already we're
Mhm.
seeing the EU is saying we're going to use American oil, American
Yes.
energy,
Yes. Yes.
you know? So you have that. You have the far-reaching ideas that Elon will have. You have Robert Kennedy Jr. The food in Europe is much healthier than in America, much healthier.
Yes.
And he is a big advocate for that. So hopefully now he's going to be in a position where they're going to have these food places and fast food places and everything accountable for
Mm.
what they're giving to the youth and to the adults, to bring down the massive obesity in America that's happened in America because of this
Mm.
poor nutrient in our food supply. Um,
Mhm.
there's going to be so many different changes. It's very exciting time. I tweeted out the other day. I go, good morning. I says, Donald J. Trump is our 47th president today. Yesterday, I was mourning for America. Today,
Mhm.
it's mourning in America. Agavit. So, and that's what it feels like for people. People that care
Right.
about, and I'm not saying people don't care about the country that are on the left, but their thinking is, there's something that is askew, especially in the Hollywood community, of which I've been a part of for 46 years.
Mhm.
I don't understand how they cannot understand the American people, the everyman, the John Does of the world, the Mr. Smiths of the world, the
Mhm.
people that don't have the elite money to just do whatever they want. And that's what's so great about the people that he's put around him. These are people that are successful, that do care about the working man and want to see the working man, the common man, to rise up. And that was something that the Republican Party wanted, and they didn't. And they called Trump a Nazi, a fascist, that this so ridiculous. They were the Nazis. They were the fascists. The left, they were the Nazis and fascists from the left, because what they wanted was social Marxism, and they wanted to control everyone's life.
Mm.
We understood that from COVID. the media, you got to realize 98% of the media is lying to the American public. And they're selling, along with Hollywood, this military-industrial complex, the creation of
Yes.
conflict and wars instead of settling differences like what happened in Ukraine and Russia.
What are your prediction about regarding the conflict in Gaza and Ukraine?
They're going to negotiate. I think they're going to resolve. They've already talked to both Zelensky and to Putin. They've already discussed with Putin, Trump and Elon Musk, both of them already discussed. Now, the Hollywood community is a bit brainwashed because they're supposed to be the ones that want free speech, but yet they're censoring everybody that disagrees with them. The people in Hollywood, if you voted for Trump, you can't come to my Thanksgiving dinner. Think about that. I mean, it's Michael Savage wrote a book. He said, liberalism is a mental disorder. There's something to that. And I'm all for compassion for people. I'm for compassion. And, but you have to be intelligent about it. Well, I think Serbia is a very important country for stability. And I know Serbia has been very, very, in the past, a very close ally. I know that when Biden came in, he put somebody else in as ambassador, that I don't know if he was the best ambassador choice for Serbia and America. I know he was part of the Clinton era, and I don't think the Serbians liked that era too much. Yeah. And I know Trump didn't like it too much either. So I assume that the Trump era is going to be protective and friends with Serbia, as you know, as they should be, as we should be. So I think it's a bright future. I'm anxious to see who he puts in as an ambassador to Serbia. I mean, that's digressing, but it took place in Serbia. That's interesting, historical for me.
Yes.
You know, that I directed the film there and had such a great reception. So I assume that there's going to be a terrific relationship between Serbia and the United States. They're going to clean house.